In this video, I'm going to be talking about what you should look out for when you are trying to settle in a particular province in Canada. If this interests you, please stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Faith. I'm an HR professional and event host based in Toronto, Canada. If this is your first time here, please do not miss out on using that subscribe button. Join this beautiful family. And if you're a returning guest, thank you for sticking with me. We're outside. We're outside today. I'm somewhere at the intersection between Royal York and Bloor. You know, it's sunny. And I came to show you my outfit as well. I'm kidding. Anyway, so back to the video. Now, what are the things that you need to look out for? I'm talking to people who will relocate. Well, it doesn't really matter. Even if you relocate via the provincial nomination route or the study route, the truth is at some point you're going to leave the province that you're in and you're going to move or settle in a particular province. Sorry, I'll be touching my face all through this video because the wind is all blowing my hair inside my head. So let's ignore. But anyway, so I'm going to be talking to really everyone who is relocating to Canada. Now, what is the first thing that you should look out for? The first thing I think will be where your profession is in demand, okay? Now, the world has since changed since the pandemic, and I know that there are a lot of remote jobs out there, but the truth is, even companies that were remote at some point, they have now changed back, and they're saying you need to come into the office at least 2 or 3 times a week. Having said this, that is why I think that choosing a province where your profession is in high demand is still a relevant point. It's always good for you to do that because at the end of the day, you do need a job. You do need a job and you definitely need to make money, right? So, you know, provinces like Alberta will be good for maybe engineering folks. You know, Saskatchewan, if you're into like agriculture or stuff like that. You know, Ontario, well, Ontario is like Bugwero. Ontario is like for all, but you know, if you're like in finance, HR, I mean, Ontario is a great place to be. So I think that this is still a point that you need to look out for. Now, my next point will be the cost of living. Now, of course, cost of living is really how much does it cost for like everyday items, you know, food, supplies, all of that stuff. Some provinces have very high cost of living. Ontario, for one, has a very high cost of living. British Columbia as well is a province that has a high cost of living. You know, so it depends. If your income can match your expenses, well, maybe that's not too much of a problem, but I think that it is something that you need to pay attention to. You know, provinces like maybe Newfoundland or Saskatchewan, or what's the other one now, Prince Edward and Labrador, those sort of provinces, Manitoba, you know, Manitoba has a low cost of living. So if that's something that, you know, you think you might be worried about, then maybe this is a point or a factor that you need to consider when you're trying to settle in a particular province. My next point will be maybe the minimum wage. I think that's one thing that you need to look out for. Yes, we know that our hope when we relocate to the country is that we get, you know, a fantastic white-collar job, but oftentimes that's not usually the case. So if that happens to be you, then you might have to look out for some lower-level jobs. And of course, with that, you need to be looking at the minimum wage that each province has. Minimum wage in Ontario, or I think British Columbia, I think is like $15 an hour at the point at which I'm recording this video. Manitoba and Saskatchewan have a lower rate. I think it's like 11.8 and 11.9 respectively. So those are things that you need to look out for. Of course, $15 per hour sounds great, right? But please balance it out too, because you might be earning that much in Ontario, but like I said before, the cost of living is equally high, right? So that's one thing. So it's just about doing the math and seeing where makes sense for you, and also considering other points. So it's like having a pros and cons list, and then you can decide where you want to go eventually. Now, the next point I will talk about is housing costs. It goes without saying that, look, housing is very important. You don't want to be living on them streets. So you need to have a house. Ontario is expensive. Look, let's not even lie to ourselves. I mean, I live here. I live in Toronto, so just imagine, like, it's a lot of money. Okay, so typically when people relocate, I always tell them that, look, housing is a very huge portion of your income. It takes a huge portion of your income, so you need to be mindful of where you relocate to. Like I always say, if your income can accommodate, why not? Look, live in downtown Toronto, go and rent a condo for like 3K a month. I mean, whatever rocks your boat. But you know, if that's not the case, then you need to look out for provinces where you have low housing costs, okay? The ones I mentioned before, I think the Saskatchewans or the Nova Scotias of this world, you would get relatively affordable housing. Even in Calgary. See, all my friends have left me in Ontario. They've gone to Calgary because they are able to afford the houses there. Like in Calgary, you can probably get like a 3-bedroom house for like maybe less than $500,000. Like in Ontario, you can't see that. No, never. So except you go to like, I don't know, the woods or somewhere. But so that's kind of how you need to look at it. Rent here is equally expensive. So, you know, just factor that in as you decide on where you want to stay. My next point is you need to check out the tax rates in the different provinces. Like, it's really important, trust me. It's not, you know, Canada is very different in the sense that when you go to a store, you can see a nice looking dress for like maybe $20, and then when you get to the till, when you're about to pay, you end up paying like what, $25, $30. That's because there's always taxes on everything. So you need to look out for provinces where maybe the tax rates are a little low. In Ontario, our tax rates, GST and HST, is like about 13%. You know, in Alberta, it's like 5%. So you see why my friends left me. That's another reason. Because they're going there, they're paying 5% tax on stuff. So it's like, look, what are you doing here, right? So that's one thing that I think that you need to be concerned about, or you need to at least factor in making your decision. My next point will be, what is your lifestyle? Like, what is your lifestyle? Are you the, buga? Are you the kind of person that likes to party? Are you the kind of person that likes, the city to be alive? If you're that kind of person, then maybe Ontario is a place for you. But if you're more reserved, you don't mind, you just want your wife, your kids, with your dog, and living the very cool life, hey, maybe go to, I don't know, one of the other provinces, maybe Manitoba. Here Manitoba is very chilled, so maybe that is the province for you. So it depends. People like me, we come from a city called Lagos in Nigeria, and Lagos is very upbeat. Like, it's so upbeat. Lagos for me is almost like downtown Toronto. So it's like, yeah, I probably couldn't have lived in Manitoba just because I kind of like the whole upbeat lifestyle. So if that is you, then you know that you need to go to a province that is upbeat. In the same vein, you need to figure out where your family and friends are. In Canada, it can get very lonely, especially if you don't have family and friends around you. So it might make sense to relocate or settle in a province where you have friends that you can go to, where you can drop your kids, and have the time of your life. Otherwise, if it's just you, and it's not easy. And making friends here too is not so easy like it probably would be in your home country. So please factor all of that in when you're deciding on a province. Then finally, this video will not be complete if I don't talk about it. Finally is the weather, okay? Now, there are provinces that are colder than the other. Ontario is at least one of the warmer provinces. Ontario, British Columbia, at least this is summer. Our summer is summer. You can see the heat, you can see the sun, you can feel it on your head. But places like Alberta might still even be cold, because I saw my friends, they were still wearing jackets in June. So that tells you that, there are places that are really cold. Saskatchewan is cold. It's really cold. I'm sure they're still like wearing their very cold jackets now. So I think, it just depends. Some people can't deal with extreme weather conditions. And if that is you, then maybe you need to look for provinces that are, neither here nor there, just on the average, Ontario, BC, their weather makes sense, okay? So I think that even though that is not really a factor, I feel like all the other points I said before are probably stronger than this one. But hey, people's bodies vary, right? So if this is something that you need to consider, then please do. Okay, so guys, that's all I have for you. If you know of any other points that you have, please drop in the comment section and let's help people out. Remember my summer hangout. Do not forget. Look, I am so looking forward to meeting you guys in person. So fill out the form in the description box and let me know if you live in the GTA in Ontario. I would love to meet with you. Fill that form in the description box. If you like this video, hit the like button. Hit, and share this video. Help me grow. Subscribe as well. And you know how we roll from me, myself, and I in, well, in the streets. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.